Fat loss secret number 1. Make your first meal of the day high in protein and as low as possible in sugar and carbs. Ideally, you want your protein to come from a healthy animal source like whole organic eggs, grass-fed beef, wild-caught salmon, free-range chicken, or turkey. These animal proteins are what we call complete proteins, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids we need to build lean muscle and burn fat. Most healthy meat, fish, fowl, and eggs are complete proteins. This meal should not contain any sugar or carbs unless those carbs come from green vegetables like broccoli, spinach, kale, asparagus, and leafy greens. So your first meal doesn't look like a typical breakfast at all. To maximize fat loss, you want your first meal to look more like a healthy lunch or dinner. In fact, the easiest thing you can do is cook up some extra meat with your dinner the night before and have it the following morning for your protein-only first meal. You could even hard-boil a dozen organic eggs to have on hand, or whip up a fat loss accelerator shake like we recommend in the program. And in terms of calories, your first meal should be your lightest of the day. This prevents triggering the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest and digestion. It's also the reason why we get sleepy after a big meal. The result? You'll be more alert, focused, and most importantly, burning fat throughout the day. If you think that's good, I've got dozens more of these powerful fat loss tips and sneaky little tricks you can apply immediately to lose 25 pounds of body fat in 60 days without doing any exercise. It's all in the Breakthrough Health Blueprint Fat Burning System, and it's yours to try risk-free for 30 days. Just click the Add to Cart button below now to get started. Here's another little-known fat loss tip that may surprise you. A lean body and six-pack abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. That's right. It may come as a shock, but 70 to 80% of your fat loss results are determined by the foods you eat. Most of the time, we don't give much thought to whether the food we are about to eat will make us more healthy or less healthy, or how it will impact the way our body looks. In the Health Blueprint, we divide the foods we eat into 2 simple categories. The first category is foods that make us more healthy and help us to build a leaner, more attractive body. These are the foods we try to eat most of the time. The second category is foods that we absolutely love, even if they're not the healthiest choices in the world. The good news is you still get to eat these foods every single week. That's right. The Health Blueprint program isn't about starvation or deprivation. You still get to eat as much of your favorite foods like pizza, cheeseburgers, ice cream, cookies, French fries, chocolate, pasta, bread, donuts, potato chips, or any other foods you love every single week. Better yet, we teach you how to strategically use these foods to help you turbocharge your fat loss and maintain your results long term. Of course, you don't have to eat junk food if you don't want to. For many people, having these foods strategically included as a part of your weekly diet helps you stick with the program, and it provides a light at the end of the tunnel. If you try to lose weight without the right strategy, you're likely to run your hormones into the gutter and end up even fatter than before you started dieting in the first place. So if all we have to do to lose weight is eat the right foods, why aren't more people doing it? For one, because a lot of the foods we think are healthy are actually making us fat, like we touched on earlier. The second reason is because many modern foods are incredibly addicting. When you eat foods that contain gluten, sugar, carbohydrates, wheat, and many cheeses, they trigger the same chemicals in our brain that are released by street drugs like cocaine, heroin, and opium. Have you ever found yourself eating bread, cereal, pizza, pasta, crackers, or granola bars, but you couldn't stop? It's because these foods are loaded with sugar and gluten. Sugar is one of the most addictive substances on the planet, not to mention a recognized poison to the human body that accelerates every known degenerative disease. There was recently a study at the University of Bordeaux where they fed laboratory rats a steady diet of sugar. After just 3 weeks, the rats were clinically addicted. When these rats were given a choice between sugar and cocaine, they chose sugar. Even the rats that were addicted to cocaine quickly switched to sugar once it was offered as a choice. Sure, these are rats we're talking about, but did you know that rats and humans share 98% of the same DNA? You see, you've got these sweet receptors that are located at the tip of your tongue. They evolved during caveman times when our diet was very, very low in sugar. Basically, they haven't adapted to the modern times, and the big food companies know this, so they intentionally create products that are loaded with sugar, high fructose corn syrup, carbohydrates that turn into sugar, and gluten. And can you guess what happens? We get addicted and they get filthy rich. Think about that. If you're enjoying these tips and tricks I'm sharing with you here, you'll absolutely love the other cutting-edge, fat-burning information I've packed into the Health Blueprint program. It's solid gold. Give it a 100% zero-risk test drive for 30 days and decide for yourself whether or not it's right for you. No pressure, no small print. Click the Add to Cart button below now for instant access. Let's start with some fat loss myths and common mistakes that may be holding you back. You probably already know that if you want to burn body fat, you need to stay away from sugar and carbohydrates that quickly convert to sugar in the body, right? And you know that to lose weight and skyrocket your health, you want to eat a lot of vegetables every day, right? Cool. So I'm not going to rehash the same stuff you've already heard 100 times before. Let's just put it like this for the people who may not be as familiar with this stuff. Sugar and carbohydrates that immediately convert to sugar in the body are the number one cause of unwanted body fat, diabetes, and disease. As soon as you eat sugar or carbohydrates, you instantly shut down your body's major fat-burning hormone, HGH, and spike your body's fat storage hormone, insulin. You know that's not good when you're trying to lose weight. And yes, we all need to eat a lot more vegetables. Vegetables, especially green vegetables, contain more nutrients than any other food. They're also loaded with fiber and other good stuff that makes us healthier. Turns out, Mom was right all along. Now let's take a look at some of the things you may believe to be true right now that could be holding you back. Only by exposing the lies and myths of the fat loss industry can we finally end up at the truth. Here are a few of the biggest fat loss myths that may be keeping you from the results you're after. Myth number 1, whole grains and wheat are good for you. Humans ate a diet based primarily on wild plants and animals for approximately the last 10,000 years. Sure, the Bible's full of stories of people eating wheat in bread, but this is far from the type of wheat that's in our food today. Our modern dwarf wheat has a super starch, amylopectin A, super gluten, and a super drug called exorphins, which makes you fat, inflamed, and addicted. So it's super important to recognize that we're really talking about two very different foods. Our diet took a big shift for the worse in the 1950s when the US government started recommending Americans eliminate saturated animal fats and replace them with a low-fat diet based around whole grains, wheat, and vegetable oils. This has now come to be known as one of the biggest failed experiments in dietary history. So, for 99.5% of human existence, we survived and thrived on a plant-based diet with our protein coming from healthy animals that ate wild food. Today, the standard American diet is loaded with sugar, grains, vegetable oils, and refined carbohydrates. So these foods have only made up a big part of our diet for less than 0.5% of human history. And the research is clear. These foods are making us fat, sick, and tired. Unfortunately, there are still a lot of people who haven't gotten the memo. Here's the problem. Whole grains and wheat immediately convert to sugar in the body. In fact, 2 slices of whole wheat bread will raise your blood sugar more than 2 tablespoons of straight table sugar. You already know sugar and foods that convert to sugar in the body completely shut down your body's ability to burn fat. So every time you eat foods like bread, cereal, pasta, pizza, granola, and muffins, you're telling your body to store fat. And yes, this includes the whole grain, organic, and gluten-free versions of these foods too. Organic crap is still crap. Ignore the marketing hype and healthy claims. Foods that make us fat will make us fat whether or not they're organic. Myth number 2, fruit will help you lose weight. Okay, this one is controversial, and I know I'm going to catch some heat, but it needs to be addressed. Fruit is healthy in moderation, but there's a crucial difference between eating for health and eating for fat loss. You can eat nothing but healthy foods and still end up fat. A lot of people try to get lean by eating fruit, assuming healthy means this food will help me lose weight. Even worse, they eat fruit for breakfast or on its own without adequate protein. This will murder your ability to burn fat. In the Health Blueprint program, we only recommend healthy foods that will also help you burn body fat. This will allow you to get the body you want faster and easier than you've ever thought possible. Fruit is naturally loaded with vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants. This is why eating it in small amounts is beneficial for people with less than 15 pounds to lose, who exercise frequently, have a healthy metabolism, and a normal insulin response. Unfortunately, for most people, fruit is one of those foods that is healthy, but is also probably making you fat. Here's why. Fruit contains large amounts of fructose, a sugar which has a similar impact on your blood sugar and insulin as table sugar, wheat, and other grains. And while fruit is natural, the damage many of us have done to our metabolism and insulin sensitivity from years of eating modern man-made foods and spending the majority of our days sitting around is not. Here's the kicker. The majority of the fruit in our grocery stores that we buy and eat isn't the same fruit that we would find naturally growing in the wild. Most of the fruit and vegetables in our grocery stores are loaded with dangerous pesticides, herbicides, chemicals, and xenoestrogens, which will make us fat and less healthy. Our produce has also been artificially crossbred to create fruits and vegetables designed to maximize size, sweetness, and appearance, as opposed to nutrition. This practice has dramatically decreased the nutrient content in our modern fruits, while also making them much higher in the sugar fructose, which makes us store body fat. So not only are they higher in the sugar that makes fat loss difficult, but they're lower in the nutrients our body needs for optimal health. For example, scientific analysis has shown wild blueberries to have more than double the free radical neutralizing antioxidants compared to regular blueberries. Research in the lab and thousands of case studies in the real world have shown us that many people improve their health and body composition by restricting their fructose intake, including fruit. Scientific studies also suggest fructose may play a significant role in speeding up the growth and multiplication of cancer cells. We've known for a long time that cancer cells use sugar as their primary fuel source, and it appears pancreatic cancer cells specifically rely on fructose for their cell division. Actor Ashton Kutcher recently suffered pancreatic problems after following an all-fruit diet to prepare for his role as Apple founder Steve Jobs in the upcoming film Jobs. Steve Jobs ate an all-fruit diet. He died of pancreatic cancer in 2011. Coincidence? Perhaps. The thing is, similar events have happened over and over again, far too often to ignore. In the Health Blueprint, we teach you exactly when you can eat fruit and not have it impact your weight, and when you're better off staying away from it. For now, understand that if fat loss and optimal health are two of your goals, fruit consumption is best kept to 1 day a week or the specific time windows we suggest in the program. Myth number 3, eating saturated fat and cholesterol causes heart disease and will make you fat. The third myth, known as the lipid hypothesis, is the belief that saturated fat and cholesterol lead to elevated blood levels of cholesterol, which in turn causes heart disease and obesity. In reality, the surge in obesity and diabetes in America coincided with the message that saturated fat is bad and carbs and vegetable oils are good. And the research now clearly shows that it's not saturated fats that is to blame for elevated cholesterol levels and heart disease, but the increased intake of carbohydrates and vegetable oils that is actually causing these health issues. In fact, large scientific studies involving almost 350,000 participants found no association between saturated fat and heart disease. Another study of almost 60,000 Japanese women found the complete opposite to be true. The more saturated fat participants ate, the lower their risk of stroke. Saturated fat from healthy animals that were raised on their natural diet is one of the most powerful weapons in the battle for a better body. As long as your total calories stay within your fat-burning zone, which we teach you exactly how to calculate in the program, eating the right kinds of fat will help you burn fat. I'm talking about foods like whole organic eggs, including the yolks, coconut oil, and grass-fed beef. The idea that we should be dramatically reducing our saturated fat intake and increasing our intake of whole grains and vegetable oils to protect against heart disease has no support in the scientific literature. Myth number 4. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. This one may shock you. Breakfast in America is making more people fat than any other daily habit. Think about the most common foods we eat for breakfast: pancakes, waffles, cereal, fruit, yogurt, toast, bagels, orange juice, granola, oatmeal, and grab-and-go health bars. Most of them aren't much more than glorified desserts, and all of those breakfast foods will spike your blood sugar and elevate the hormone insulin. And when insulin goes up, what happens? That's right, fat burning stops and fat storage starts. As soon as most people wake up, they're slamming the brakes on their body's ability to burn fat by eating these unhealthy breakfast foods. That means every day you may be losing precious hours that your body could be burning fat. So many people are making this mistake, it's staggering. When a client comes to me because they're having trouble losing weight, they're almost always eating foods like commercial yogurt, fruit, granola bars, and other traditional breakfast foods with their first meal of the day. One of the most controversial breakfast foods that many people defend with a passion is yogurt. Despite what the commercials would lead us to believe, almost all commercial yogurts are little more than a cleverly disguised dessert masquerading as a health food. One of these little Yoplait yogurts has the same amount of sugar and carbs as a Snickers candy bar. And a lot of yogurts are loaded with high fructose corn syrup and other sweeteners that stop fat loss, kill the healthy bacteria in your gut, and wreak havoc on your metabolism. Yes, yogurt does contain some healthy probiotics, which is the reason so many people believe it's healthy. But these probiotics, or good bacteria, come at a price, and that price is large amounts of insulin-spiking sugar and carbohydrates that cause you to gain weight. If it's good bacteria you're after, plain kefir from grass-fed cows is a much better option, and it won't make you fat. If you look at commercial yogurt side by side with healthier whole food probiotics like kefir or kimchi, a fermented Korean cabbage dish, there's no comparison. Kefir contains at least twice the amount of good bacteria as yogurt, and many kefirs contain 10 times the health-boosting probiotics as commercial yogurt. In most cases, when you eat commercial yogurt, you're eating a dead food that's loaded with ingredients that will make you fat and less healthy. If you're going to eat yogurt, I recommend going with an authentic, plain Greek yogurt or kefir, ideally from grass-fed cows. Then you can sweeten it up on your own using some stevia or a non-denatured, bioactive whey protein like One World Whey from Synergistic Nutrition. These are the exact methods that worked when nothing else would, when it felt like I was destined to be overweight forever. There is a better way, and it can be yours today. Click the button below and let me show you how to make this change now. Here are the top 5 foods you want to avoid or save for your cheat day if you're serious about transforming your body. The first category of food to avoid if you want to accelerate fat loss and increase your natural energy is whole grains, including breads, cereals, pasta, muffins, and baked goods. We touched on this one earlier, but it's the food category that's making us fat more than any other. No food will threaten your ability to lose weight as much as sugar and whole grains. In fact, you should look at whole grains the same way you look at sugar because they have the exact same spiking effect on your blood sugar and insulin levels, and in some cases, it's even worse. Science writer Gary Taubes breaks it down like this, and I quote, "The science tells us that obesity is ultimately the result of insulin secretion caused by eating easily digestible, carbohydrate-rich foods, refined carbohydrates, including flour and grains, sugars, and high fructose corn syrup. These carbohydrates literally make us fat, and by driving us to accumulate fat, they make us hungrier and they make us sedentary." End quote. When you eat foods like bread, grains, cereal, pasta, pizza, muffins, and anything made from wheat, including whole wheat, gluten-free, and organic versions of these foods, you're spiking your insulin and telling your body to store fat. If you're going to eat any of these foods, I encourage you to save them for your weekly scheduled cheat day. The second category of food you want to stay away from for a leaner, healthier body isn't actually a food at all. It's diet and zero-calorie drinks. A September 2012 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed what dozens of previous studies have already shown us about diet drinks. They're even more dangerous than regular soda, and they'll make you just as fat. In fact, diet drinks have been shown to increase your risk of diabetes even more than regular soda. Keep in mind, regular soda is not a healthier option. They both suck. Many of us already know the chemicals in diet and zero-calorie drinks aren't good for us, but we drink them because we need a caffeine boost, or we mistakenly believe these chemicals don't lead to weight gain. Here's the truth about artificial sweeteners like Splenda, Equal, and zero-calorie drinks based on double-blind scientific research. Study after study confirms that diet and zero-calorie drinks cause just as much weight gain as regular soda. They also damage our metabolism, kill the good bacteria we need for a healthy immune response and proper digestion, weaken our bones, and increase our risk of cancer and degenerative diseases. Your best bet is to stay away from diet and zero-calorie drinks and go with organic coffee or green tea for your pick-me-up. The third category of food to avoid for maximum fat loss and optimal health is fruit and fruit juice. We discussed how eating fruit can make it hard for you to lose weight. That's why we recommend you save it for your weekly scheduled cheat day. Now let's talk about fruit juice. Orange juice, for example, is pretty much straight concentrated sugar without the other health benefits you'd get from eating an orange in its whole food form. One small 10-ounce serving of orange juice contains 28 grams of sugar. That's the same amount of fat-storing sugar in a Snickers candy bar. Recent studies have also confirmed that drinking just one glass of orange juice a day raises your risk of getting diabetes by 20%. Fruit juice, including smoothies from your favorite juice bar, will spike your blood sugar and stop fat burning just the same as eating whole fruit. Only when you drink fruit juice, you're missing out on all the fiber and micronutrients you get when you eat fruit in its whole food form. For that reason, and to maximize fat burning, we recommend saving whole fruit for your cheat day and avoiding fruit juice entirely unless it's straight from your juicer and it's your cheat day. The fourth category of food to stay away from if you want to increase weight loss is health bars, including granola bars, protein bars, and weight loss bars. When you dig into the nutrition inside many of the granola and protein bars out there, you'll quickly find many of them aren't much different than regular candy bars hidden behind clever marketing. And in some cases, they're even worse. For example, if you look at the nutrition label on most granola bars, you'll see they're loaded with high fructose corn syrup and grains, two of the top causes of obesity and diabetes in the United States. Anytime you see high fructose corn syrup on the ingredients label, that's a food you 100% want to stay away from. No exceptions. Popular foods like soda, cereal, ketchup, salad dressings, 100-calorie snack packs, sauces, and processed junk foods like candy and cakes almost always contain high fructose corn syrup. It's a super sugar that's added for sweetness. I recommend you check your labels so you know what's going into your body. On top of that, these health bars are often very low in protein. Protein is important because it helps keep our insulin levels stable. So when you eat sugar and carbs that impact your blood sugar without protein, you're getting a double whammy. The number one selling granola bar in the United States contains over 7 grams of insulin-spiking carbohydrates for every 1 gram of protein. Plus, the anti-nutrients in the grains will interfere with your body's ability to absorb nutrients from the other healthy food you eat. Anti-nutrients are substances found in many grains and some legumes that damage our ability to digest the foods we eat. They also create holes in our intestinal lining, cause inflammation, and weaken our ability to absorb vitamins and nutrients from our food. Have you ever heard the saying, "You are what you eat"? Well, it's only partly true. You are not what you eat. You are what you eat, digest, and absorb. When you really break things down, the majority of protein bars and weight loss bars aren't much different than a normal candy bar, and many are loaded with dangerous artificial chemicals and sweeteners that make them even less healthy. You're best off avoiding these types of foods or saving them for your cheat day. The fifth category of food to avoid for optimal health and fat loss is soy, including soy milk, soy protein, soy baby formula, tofu, and soy meat alternatives. Okay, This one may surprise a few people, but it needs to be said. Soy is not a health food. For one thing, a whopping 93% of all soybeans in the United States are genetically modified. That's a stat from the United States Department of Agriculture in 2010. So if you eat any soy products, there's a 93% chance you're consuming dangerous chemicals that pose a serious threat to your health. Genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, are foods that have had their DNA manipulated through artificial genetic engineering in a laboratory. Even though they might look like a natural food, they're not. And our body does not recognize or process genetically modified food the same way it processes real food. GMOs snuck their way into the market in the early 1990s, and we're just now starting to realize the massive threats they pose to our health. A 2-year-long French study designed to evaluate the health risks of genetically modified foods found that rats fed genetically modified corn developed massive breast tumors, kidney and liver damage, and died at a rate 2 to 3 times higher than rats not fed genetically modified corn. Another 10-year genetically modified feeding study done on rats showed that GM foods also cause obesity. Genetically modified foods are not just a dangerous health risk, but they're also making us fat. Currently, the average adult in the US, Canada, and Australia gets approximately 67% of their total calorie intake from only 3 foods: corn, soy, and wheat, and their derivatives. And the 3 most often genetically modified foods are corn, soy, and wheat. That's scary. The scariest part is genetically modified foods have already infiltrated almost every commercial grocer in the United States, even some of the healthier grocery chains. This is because there are no laws requiring farms, food manufacturers, or grocery stores to label genetically modified foods. There was a huge outrage recently when customers found out natural food manufacturer Kashi had been using genetically modified grains in almost all of their products. So what can you do to avoid these GM frankenfoods? The only way for you to avoid them is to buy certified organic, because by definition, organic cannot be GMO. However, you want to buy from a farmer or grocer who guarantees the organic integrity from the farm to your shopping cart. Now hang with me, we're not through beating up on soy yet. Aside from the fact that over 90% of all soy in the United States is genetically modified, eating soy-based foods will also wreak havoc on your hormones. Foods made from soy contain dangerous estrogen-like compounds called isoflavones and phytoestrogens, which have been shown to cause hormonal imbalances in humans, including the development of female characteristics in boys and men. So while soy is commonly marketed as a health food, I highly encourage you and your loved ones to avoid this food if you want to look your best and maintain a healthy hormonal balance. If you're finding these tips, tricks, and insights helpful, you'll get dozens more inside the Health Blueprint Rapid Fat Loss Program. The key to unlocking your ability to burn fat, increasing your energy, and finally having the body you've always wanted is just a click away. But it's up to you to take the next step. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Click the Add to Cart button below right now and discover the incredible life that's waiting for you on the other side. I'm also going to teach you 2 revolutionary nutrition programs that are the foundation of the Health Blueprint. I call the first program the Lazy Man's Way to Six-Pack Abs, and it's for people who work out fewer than 4 times a week or have more than 15 pounds of weight to lose. The Lazy Man's Way to Six-Pack Abs teaches you a systematic, sustainable method for losing weight without doing any exercise. Of course, if you exercise too, you'll multiply your results. Every time you sit down to eat from here on out, you're going to know exactly what you need to do to lose body fat fast and keep it off for the rest of your life. Here's what else you'll discover exclusively inside the Health Blueprint program. 60 nutrition tips and fat loss secrets most people will never know that the healthy feast on to effortlessly stay lean and sexy year-round. These sneaky little fat loss tricks are your fast track to the body you've always wanted but never had. 9 bulletproof nutrition rules to live by. These are lifesavers for lazy dieters. Example number 1, don't drink your calories. Example number 2, have a complete protein with every meal and snack. 7 more that will transform your body and change the way you eat forever inside. How to use what I call the red carb, green carb, yellow carb meal method Inspired by unorthodox techniques top fitness models use to prepare for competition to achieve advanced levels of physical transformation. Never again will eating healthy have to take over your life. This method makes getting a better body so easy, a newbie with no health knowledge or experience could start using it today and be 8 to 10 pounds lighter in less than a week. An astonishing secret that can instantly increase fat loss by 2 to 5 pounds a week simply by making a small tweak to your morning cup of coffee. Warning, if you add sugar, artificial sweeteners, or creamers to your coffee, you need to get your hands on this information immediately. The amazing Lazy Dieter's 6-step shortcut to healthy eating. This step-by-step shortcut makes the transition from addictive carbohydrates and unhealthy modern foods completely painless and withdrawal-free, so you can get yourself eating better and on track for rapid fat loss as fast as possible. An unorthodox food sequencing trick that puts weight loss on autopilot, so your body will burn fat even while you sleep. This tip flips conventional wisdom on its head and produces unmatched ab-ripping results. How you can strategically feast on your favorite cheat foods every week and wake up leaner each morning. This little-known strategy made my head spin when I discovered it because it completely defies common sense. I'll teach you how to use your cheats to prevent adaptation and keep your metabolism from slowing down, so you continue to get dramatic fat loss results week after week. When I first heard about this weird technique, the first thing I did was eat half of a Chicago-style deep dish pizza and an entire cheesecake all by myself. With this information, you'll get to enjoy your favorite cheat foods every week while staying lean and fit. Only people who know these secrets get to do that. The nutrition program responsible for the most weight loss from any diet ever recorded in history. Discover exactly how to apply this information to supercharge your fat loss and improve your health with every bite you eat. The simple 3-step process I call the HEF test that will instantly tell you if a food is going to move you closer to the body and health you want or further away. Use this quick test to screen your food before you eat it, and you'll witness a dramatic improvement in your fat loss and energy almost overnight. The single most important nutrient your body needs to burn fat. If you're deficient in this one nutrient, you can kiss any chance of losing weight goodbye. How juicing vegetables, when done the right way, can help you detoxify, strengthen your digestion, and decrease body fat. But juicing the wrong fruits and vegetables will stop fat burning in its tracks, like Wile E. Coyote running into a brick wall the Roadrunner painted to look like the sky. Wham! 11 surprising foods that melt fat. The secret recipe to our Lean Green Fat Loss Accelerator Shake. This will become one of your most utilized weapons in the battle against body fat. This powerful and convenient shake is ready in less than 2 minutes, and it gets your body everything you need to look, feel, and perform your best each day. A shocking macronutrient timing trick that, when used correctly, allows you to eat whatever foods you want and not store them as body fat. When you eat during this window, your body has elevated levels of the glucose transport protein called GLUT4, so you end up using the food you eat to build lean muscle instead of storing it as fat, even if it's cheeseburgers, pizza, and ice cream. The problem with the paleo diet and the low-carb approach: not knowing this potential pitfall can kill your sex drive, prevent you from building lean muscle, and turn you into a moody grump. How to use a unique concept I call metabolic confusion to maximize fat loss and prevent adaptation and weight loss plateaus. This process works by teaching you a no-hassle way to cycle your carbohydrate intake so your body never knows what to expect and you burn superhuman amounts of fat. Even though your body will be confused by this approach, we've removed all the confusion for you, so this killer strategy is uber simple to implement. Why the weight loss industry dogma of eating your biggest meal at breakfast or lunch so you can eat light at night is completely backwards and unsupported from a scientific or evolutionary perspective. We flip conventional wisdom upside down and show you how you can eat lighter, protein-based meals during the day, then feast at night, so you never have to feel hungry or deprived ever again. This revolutionary and sustainable approach, pioneered by Serge Nubret and Ori Hofmeckler, will bring you superior fat loss and improved health while making your transformation journey more enjoyable and fun. Detailed health blueprint meal plans. This information will help any beginner feel like a professional nutritionist in a matter of minutes because it shows you exactly what to eat, when to eat it, why to eat it, and how much you should eat. The 3 food combination commandments you must follow to maximize fat loss. Yes, eating the right foods at the wrong time will make you fat. A breakthrough concept I call the live food factor that teaches you why your health will take off when you start to eat these powerful living foods instead of the dead, modern food that makes up the majority of the standard American diet. We'll explain why the sun energy in your food translates directly to cellular energy for you, and how you can find foods that haven't lost this vital life force. Implementing this information will give you a new level of energy that makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning and doesn't ever slow down. How to easily eliminate toxins, accelerate fat loss, and take your body to the next level using a concept I call the simple 16-hour detox. Studies have shown the techniques you'll learn in the simple 16-hour detox to naturally increase human growth hormone, your body's primary fat-burning hormone, an average of 1,300% in women and nearly 2,000% in men. Imagine how much sooner you'll have the lean, sexy body of your dreams looking back at you from the mirror when you're able to apply this information. I'm talking about the kind of results that will make you smile so hard your cheeks hurt. Why the hormones, vaccines, antibiotics, and chemicals that contaminate the commercial meat and dairy sold in your grocery store will make you fat. You'll also learn where you can get inexpensive, healthy meat from humanely raised animals. This knowledge will protect your family's health while maximizing your fat loss. A shockingly easy way to get lean fast and build muscle without the hassle of counting calories or fussing over what to eat. I call it the OCAD diet. And this technique is perfect for people who travel a lot and find it difficult to eat healthy on the road. The truth about organic food and whether you really need to spend the extra money. I'll debunk all the myths floating around and show you what specific foods contain the most chemicals and pesticides. You'll also learn where you can save hundreds of dollars on groceries every year without compromising your health or fat loss. This information alone is worth the price of this entire program. 22 superfoods and super spices that will reduce joint pain, get rid of acne, reduce inflammation, upgrade your brain, and kick your energy into high gear. The 4-minute meditation, a breakthrough meditation technique that distills the science and health benefits of this ancient art down to an easy and simple practice. You can do it anytime, anywhere, and it takes less than 4 minutes. You'll get all the stress-relieving, relaxation-boosting health benefits without spending hours in the lotus position. A breakthrough herbal extract that will immediately increase the amount of fat you burn by 35 to 43%, according to a recent study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Simply taking this safe and natural supplement will instantly speed up your metabolism and help you burn 43% more body fat every hour. A startling solution for stubborn belly fat that works with your body's natural biochemistry to improve absorption of nutrients so you can eat less and still get your body the fuel it needs. We overeat when our body isn't getting the vitamins and minerals it requires for energy production. By increasing what you absorb from the foods you eat, you'll naturally eat less and lose weight with a lot less effort. A new all-natural way to increase serotonin, the brain chemical that fights depression, that works just like Prozac minus the drowsiness and brain fog. How lemon balm, a plant native to the Mediterranean region, has been clinically proven to reduce anxiety by 49% and sleeplessness by up to 39% in as little as 15 days. What's more, lemon balm produces these calming effects while also enhancing your memory and attention. A little known adjustment to your exercise routine that safely sends your libido through the roof while naturally increasing your body's youthful hormone levels. Imagine yourself with a body that instantly makes you more attractive. A powerful anti-aging supplement that increases mitochondrial function, the energy powerhouses in your cells, to give you more energy without dangerous stimulants. Take this now if you want to improve your performance at home, in the office, and reverse the aging process at a cellular level. An eye-opening section we call The Truth About Alcohol. Sure, you can lose weight if you're sober as a judge 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. but not everyone wants that lifestyle. I'll teach you how to get a better body without giving up alcohol, so you get the best of both worlds. Human clinical trials have shown this natural supplement to produce an alert state of relaxation without drowsiness, as indicated by an increase in alpha brainwaves and a decrease in beta brainwaves. If you want the benefits of meditation without actually having to meditate, then you've got to get access to this information. The 3 hidden causes of low energy and chronic fatigue, and what you can do starting today to correct them. The complete daily habits guide to fat loss success, and how you can start living the health blueprint lifestyle as soon as today. Know exactly what to do and when to do it to maximize fat loss, build lean muscle, increase energy, and get the body you've wanted all your life. Learn the common mistakes that most people make and the frequently asked questions that will help you shortcut your learning curve from years to just a few short weeks. You'll feel like an expert in no time and finally have the power to sculpt the body you've had in your mind but never seen in the mirror. Now it can be yours. I know that seems like a lot, but we're really just beginning to scratch the surface of all the valuable information waiting for you inside this program. I'm giving you the opportunity to lose 25 pounds for just $47. That's just $1.88 per pound of body fat you will lose. Would you pay $1.88 a pound to lose up to 25 pounds of unwanted body fat in the next 60 days? I mean it when I say I can't wait to hear from you, and I look forward to helping you change your body and your life in the days and weeks to come. Try my program risk-free for 30 days. If you don't like it, you don't pay for it. It's a no-brainer. If your gut tells you that the Health Blueprint program is a good fit for you, trust it. Your intuition is almost always right. Click the Add to Cart button below now, and let's get started. Talk soon. Anthony DiClemente.